Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. Today is the next installment of Pen of the Week. This series is where I show a pen and ink combination that I'm excited about using this week. First things first, let's recap last week. So last week was the Monteverde Coral ink in my TWSBI Eco with the steel medium nib. Now this was a really beautiful ink, as you can see, lovely sort of shading and everything, lovely colour. A few people sort of compared it to things like Monteverde Fire Opal, which, yeah, it's a fair comparison. I think this has a little bit more sort of pink in it, and it's certainly a lot lighter than things like the Copper Noir, which was also sort of compared to a little bit. Now, one thing I found was that I didn't use this pen overly much in the week, only because the writing I was doing tended to be sort of more focused on work-related things, and so a bright orange ink was just a little bit sort of too much. So I ended up using the Faber-Castell Lume here, which is one of my absolute favourite pens. We all know this, who've watched my channel. Great steel nib on it, and this was inked with Robert Oster Great Southern Ocean. So I thought I'd just do a tiny bit of just a little writing of it just down here, just so you can see that in action. As I said, this is a medium nib, and the ink is Robert Oster Great Southern Ocean. So you can see there that this ink is really quite nice and dark, and it's got a lovely sort of rich overtone of sort of what I consider to be a very dark teal. If you're familiar with an ink like Lake of Fire, it's not dissimilar to that, but this is sort of closer to a blue-black, I think, in my personal opinion. Anyway, that was last week. Let's talk about this week. It's a very special pen. It is the Leonardo Officina Italiana Momento Zero. Now, I have the green marble version here. Beautiful pen. And I've partnered it with Aurora Black. Now, this bottle, it's not the cheapest ink, but it's one of the best, most reliable inks. Really, really lovely. So as you can see here on the page, as I said, this is Clairefontaine paper. As you can see on the page, it's a lovely dark black, nice sort of, a little bit of sort of grey shading, but not so much contrast that, you know, you sort of notice it too much. And there is a tiny little bit of sheen, particularly on that little bottle top swab there, which you can see in the close-up. So let's talk about this pen. What do I love about it? Well, I love the material. I think it's beautiful. It's got a smooth, flawless nib, really beautiful, wet, generous, not so wet that an ink like this, which actually does take a bit of time to dry, it still writes really well in this pen. And I just love the design and the feel of it in my hand. Like, you can see that section there, the threads are smooth, a little sort of step down on the section, actually feels very, very comfortable in the hand. It's really lovely to write with, and it's a good size. I'm going to be reviewing this pen. It's a cartridge converter pen. The review will be up on my channel probably in the next month or so-ish, who knows. But yeah, really lovely. So what about the ink? As I said, it's wet, it's a good sort of solid black, and it's got a great bottle. It's got a wide enough opening, well, that's actually the opening of the bottle there. Wide enough for just about any pen. It's nice and deep. It holds a decent amount of ink. It's 45 mils there. It's not the cheapest ink, but it is nice, and it's Italian, and I do like that bottle a lot. So let's do the standard sort of writing, which is, as you know, from Bram Stoker's book Dracula. So this is picking up where we left off. So, as you can see in here, smooth nib, nice sort of generous sort of wet line. You can see it's still sort of wet there, that's also a property of the ink, which is why I think this is a lovely partnership. This is going to be a really lovely everyday writing partnership for the week. I don't normally write a lot with black ink apart from in my bullet journal, but this is going to be something that I write with a lot all over the place. Yeah, smooth nib, reliable, super consistent pen. I've had this ink with a few different things, and you know, it's got great flow, it's wet, it's generous, it's just a lovely pen. And this ink is beautiful. So yeah, this is my pen of the week for this week, starting March 23rd, moving it to the Saturdays, not the Sundays as I've done previously. Aurora Black and the Leonardo Officina Italiana Momento Zero with the steel medium nib. Hope you found this video interesting. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notifications button if you want to stay up to date with the videos that I produce. Get in touch with me on the social media platforms listed below. I am at @the_offstage_me on Instagram and Twitter. I'd love to see what you're up to over there. And if there's anything you think I should be looking at, let me know. If there's a way you'd like to support the channel, get in touch and let's see what we can do. I am looking for ways of increasing the variety of stuff that I can cover on this channel. So any support you want to give is greatly appreciated. In the meantime, enjoy your pens, enjoy writing, and I'll see you next week.